Hey BookTube, here's my summer book haul. I'm Jen and I talk about audiobooks, usually, but not today. Today I'm going to share with you the stack of books that has been steadily accumulating, and I didn't want the stack to get too big before I showed you what they were. So I'll start out with this one. This is On the Island by Tracey Garvis Graves. And I don't know why I'm so drawn to this book, but I really am. It's probably because it takes place on a tropical island. It's adult romance, and it's two people who get stranded on an island and have to learn to survive. And when I ordered this, I ordered a brand new copy of it, and then I'd forgotten that I did that, and I thought, this one wasn't brand new. It's got stickers and it's kind of got a little bit of damage going on there. And I thought, did I order a brand new one? I thought I did. So I went back to the people that I bought it from at half.com and I said, didn't I order a brand new one? I'm pretty sure I did. They said, we're so sorry. We sent you the one that we had. And so they refunded my money and told me I could keep this or give it away. And so I will probably give it away since I really like this book. In the meantime, I ordered a different copy from Book Depository, and so I got the beautiful UK cover, and they sent me a beautiful bookmark, which I think probably is like a coloring book sort of thing. You could color that in if you are into that. I'm not really into the whole coloring book thing. But this is a beautiful, gorgeous, brand new copy, and if you haven't read this and you like adult romance, you might really like this book, so I would highly recommend it. Next up, I got some books signed. My wonderful friend, Karen, is unequaled in terms of how incredible a friend she is. And she's so generous, and she's so much fun to spend time with, and I love her company, and I need to get together with her more often. She went to the Phoenix Comic-Con because she lives in Phoenix, and it happened right during a time when I was on vacation with my family, and so I would have joined her actually in Phoenix, and next year I plan to do that, but I couldn't go because of that. So I sent her a box of books, and she, of course, as she normally does, had them all signed and then sent them back to me. So I'll show you what those were. There were all kinds of authors at this Comic-Con. And one of those was Victoria Schwab, and I have the duology, the Archived and the Unbound, which, there have been rumors about maybe there being a third book that she's going to write, and I think that has to do with the publisher and her agreement with them. But anyway, so I got both of these signed, and the great thing about Karen is that she is so friendly, and when she goes up to these authors, she starts talking, and she's able to just kind of visit with them for a little bit, and they end up writing things in the books. Not just their signature, but they'll write stuff in the books. So this one says, to Jen, nothing is lost. And that's the Archived. And then for the Unbound, she wrote, do you know what's real? So cool. This is a fun series. It's kind of about ghosts, sort of. The main character is tasked to patrol an area of hallways that surround the archive, which is where souls go when they die. And it's sort of like a big library. And so anyway, it's all about her chasing down ones that escape and a bad guy and all that kind of thing. And so it's just a cool duology. And it's YA, and yeah, if you like that kind of thing, it's worth reading. She's a great author. Brandon Sanderson was there, and so she got me a copy of Calamity and had that signed. He wrote, for Jen, yeah, beautiful. I love this series. This is the third book in the Reckoner series, and I had seen Brandon Sanderson previously and had him sign Steelheart and Firefight, but this wasn't out yet when that happened. So she grabbed a copy of this and had him sign it. And he's a really nice guy in person, so I'm not surprised that he wrote something kind of cool in there. That's another great series about supervillains. Really, really lots of fun, and probably one of my favorite main characters of all time, David Charleston, I think that's his name. Anyway, Dan Wells was there, and I have the whole Partials trilogy. It's called the Partials sequence. And I got this hardback cover because I had a signed paperback, but I didn't want, I had the 2 other books in hardback and I wanted them all to match. So I bought this and I had it, but didn't have it signed. So she had him sign it. And it's this just his signature for Jen. And if you know the story of what's going on in this book, this means something. This is like a prescription pad. It's like a prescription. And it says from Dr. Dan Wells at the East Meadow Medical Center. And it says Jen is dying of RM. And RM is it's a disease that people get in the book. And anyway, this is kind of cool. Neat little promo thing that I can use as a bookmark. And then, of course, Karen being Karen, she had to throw in a book that she got for me and had signed because she's just that wonderful. She really is. And I always get the better end of the deal in our friendship. I always feel like there isn't nearly enough that I do for her that I wish I could somehow. One of these days, I'm going to just start a steady stream of books coming to her house just to thank her for being so generous with me. But she picked up Blue Screen. This is by Dan Wells. It's the start of a new series of his, and it is all about virtual reality and gaming and, I don't know, some kind of dystopian thing going on there. So he signed it, and it just says, for Jen, play crazy. So, yeah, and kind of, this is cool because it's like silver, but it shows up as blue. It's kind of cool. Blue Screen. I was on my quarterly trip down south recently, or actually earlier this week, and I went into Dollar Tree to get something. I can't even remember now what it was, but I always check through their book section because it's always worth it. Whether you find something or not, it's $1 if you do. So I did find some things. I found 3 things. And the first of those was The Lost Son. This is by Tessa Gratton, and it is book 1 in the United States of Asgard series, which is a dystopian about mythology and, I don't know, a different United States. It's a dystopian, so pretty much your standard YA stuff. I had this on audio previously from the library, I think, but I never did listen to it, so I need to get my hands on it again and just see if I like it. This is book 1 in the series, and I think there are 4 books maybe, because there are 4 books shown on the back. So, got to give that one a try. I picked up The Magician King by Lev Grossman. Now, I know this is not the first book in the series. The first book is The Magicians, and of course there's a TV show about it, and I don't know anything about it other than it sounds like Harry Potter for adults. And I don't know. I hear that, and then I hear people say it's nothing like Harry Potter. So I don't know. It's magic. It's people studying magic, and that's really all I know. And I wouldn't have picked up the second book in a series except that it was $1. It was $1, and even if I never read it, I could give it away to someone who wants to complete their collection. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's my thing, but I may give it a try. And the last book I found at Dollar Tree was Game Board of the Gods by Richelle Mead. This is book 1 in her Age of X series, and I haven't really heard much about it. I can tell you that I had it on audio at one point and I started it, but I got kind of bored. But that's been a couple of years ago, and I don't know if I just wasn't in the mood or what was going on. It was when I first started reading, and I was prolifically, and I was reading a lot of YA, and I think I just got bored because it wasn't YA. It wasn't moving fast enough. But I would put it on a level of Red Rising by Pierce Brown, because it seems like both those books had a similar feel to me. And so it's about a detective and his bodyguard in a dystopian world in the future where religious fanatics have taken over and are running everything. So yeah, it looks kind of interesting. I think it's kind of like a crime, solve it, puzzle, mystery kind of thing. So I don't know. I'll give it another try and just see where it goes. And lastly, on my trip down south, I got to go to my favorite bookstore, which is BooksAMillion. It is not national in the U.S. It's regional. They mostly have them in the south and on the East Coast, but there is one near me, sort of. It's like an hour and a half away, but I'm up there all the time anyway to do my big shopping because it's the city nearest where I live, and so occasionally I'll get to that side of town and check it out. But I always love to go through their bargain book section because they're just such great deals, and especially when you get coupons and they go on sale and that kind of thing. So this is the Raft by S.A. Bodeen that I picked up. It was on sale for $4, and I'm a member of their loyalty program, so I get a better deal than that. More money off, more percentage off. I don't know what it is. It's like 10% more or something like that. But this just looked really good, and I've picked it up in the past and wondered if it would be any good. And it does not have rave reviews on Goodreads. I know that I read a lot of reviews where they said, it wasn't really all it was cracked up to be, but you know, I think I might like it. I'm kind of into that whole, stranded on a raft or an island or whatever kind of survival stories. I do love survival stories. Maybe that's why I'm so into post-apocalyptic books. I think it probably is. But anyway, looks interesting. I don't know if it's available on audio. It seems like I've checked and it's not, but you never know. Time passes, things come out, so I'm going to check again and just see. But it looks pretty good. It's YA, and I guess we'll find out if these people survive on this raft. And last, I was just perusing all of the books at BooksAMillion and thinking I was gonna, I picked up a couple and then I put them down and thought, no, you just went on vacation, you don't need to spend all that money. And then I saw this. It's A Court of Mist and Fury, and I would not have picked it up except that you see this signed copy. Yeah, baby. I am all about a signed copy of a book. I have a signed copy of A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I wasn't all that thrilled about that book, but then I read this one on audio and I absolutely loved it. What a shocker. I could not believe that I loved this book, but I really did. And now I have a signed copy. What a find. I was willing to pay full price for this because of that, and also because I get a little bit of a discount with them. I think it's 20% if it's a new book, so at least I didn't pay full price. Seems like for these two books, I paid about, I want to say about $15, and this book alone is the retail on it is $19. So beautiful hardcover edition. Yeah. Yay. So that's my book haul for this summer. I'm sure I'll buy new books, more books before the summer is ended. And if you've read any of these ones that I haven't read yet, then let me know if they're any good, because I would love to know that. Should I go to one or more of them first, or what do you think? Have you read The Raft? Did you think it was any good? I'm just curious. And Game Board of the Gods, I'm wondering if that's, because I haven't heard a lot of hype about it, I kind of just wonder if it's any good. But anyway, if you read any of them, let me know what you thought of them, and we'll talk about that in comments. And that is it for now from me. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.